and welcome to this tutorial for making your own butterfly hair elastic. Here are a couple I've made before and I'm going to replicate this for this tutorial today. And you can see on the back that's how it's attached, and pop that in your hair, it makes it look lovely. So this is what you'll need to make your project. Some yarn. I'm going to use pink today, so I'm using DK yarn or double knitting yarn, which is a light worsted weight. Some hair elastics, so there's a lot of choice of colours that you can choose. Today I'm going to choose this one to go with my pink. Later on you'll need a pair of scissors and a darning needle, and that's for sewing up and also cutting off the final ends, and of course your trusty crochet hook. I use a 4mm which is perfect for this size of yarn. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is create a slip knot. There are many ways of doing this. That's my way of doing it. And we chain 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to create a ring from this 10 chain, and from that we need to double crochet into the first chain on the hook. You can see the hole there, so we'll double crochet into that, and that's now created quite a large ring, and this is what we're going to work around with all the next stitches in the first round. This tail, what I'm going to do is actually crochet around the tail as well, and what this does is it secures it into the work, and also in a plus side actually stops you from having to sew it in afterwards. So first part of this pattern is chain 2 and double crochet 2 into the ring. So that's 1 and 2, and then chain 2. So what we have here is what looks like 3 double crochet, because that first chain 2 has created the illusion of a double crochet, and 2 chain. The whole pattern of this round is 8 of the same, so we're going to replicate that again, going over the tail using 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3 and 2 chains, and repeat again, 1, 2, 3 and 2 chains. I'm going to do the rest now and I'll join you in a moment. So you can see I've created 7, we'll just count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You'll see they're quite uneven, but that's absolutely fine. It will sort itself out in the next round. I also need to do 8, but there isn't a lot of room. So all you simply do is pull the stitches you've already done across the ring, so you've now got some room. So here we go. My last 3 double crochet and 2 chains. Now we need to join this together to complete the round, and you'll see the first stitch here, which is the original double crochet. We're going to slip stitch that by inserting into both sides of the stitch with the hook. Try that again. There we are, and we'll slip stitch that by just getting the yarn and pulling it through both. So there we are. I'm just going to lift that so I can remove my hook, and you can now see you can manipulate it a little bit, but to be honest it doesn't matter because the next round will sort that out. But I am going to remove this tail now. Because it's been crocheted around, I can now remove it without it fraying. So I'll just snip that with my scissors. That's gone. So now we can move on to round 2. So for round 2 I'm going to pop my hook back in to my work. Now my stitches start here, but I actually want to start the round at the first chain space that we created on round 1, but there's a little distance of a couple of stitches before I can get there. So how we do that is you go into the first stitch and you slip stitch it, and into the second stitch as well, and then slip stitch that too. What that does is it allows you to travel along without building any extra height, because we don't want that, otherwise it'll look a little lopsided. So now I'm in the place I want to be. So we need to do a sequence of stitches which are as follows: double crochet, treble crochet, half double treble, which is yarn over twice, and then pull through the first 2 and pull through all 3 remaining ones, treble, and ending with another double. And you can see that that has created like a petal. I'll just repeat that. So go to the next chain space and do double, treble, half double treble, treble, and a double. I'm just going to continue along this round and see you when we get to about here. So you can see I've now created 7 of these petals, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I've just got the last one to go for the remainder of this round. So you find the last chain space, and same as before, a double, a treble, a half double treble, which is 2 yarns over, through and then through 2 of the first and through the remaining 3, another treble, and finally a double. All we need to do now is to slip stitch into the first stitch of the first petal, which is just there, a little bit tight, there we are, and I also do chain 1 to secure. Now what I'm going to do is create quite a long tail before cutting, and then pull the tail through and pull to secure. So this is pretty much a finished butterfly. I know it doesn't look like a butterfly, but it will. So what we need to do firstly is to sew this in properly so we can get on to the next stage. So I'm going to turn the flower over, so this is now the wrong side showing. Get my darning needle and just quickly thread that. There we are. Just going to make a couple of stitches through into the wrong side so it doesn't get seen. And I'm just going to go up into this part here. And back on myself. There we are. And cut that down. There we are. So now we have one almost butterfly. Just take my needle away. So what we now need to do, turn the flower back over to the wrong side and fold it so now the right side's showing. If I turn it around, you can now see the shape of the butterfly forming. So it's always good to have a look at the shape. It may be a case of you need to fold it in a different way. It's all in 8, so it's really whichever looks best. So I'm going to go with this one. And also have a look at the back as well. You might have a good side and a bad side. In my opinion, this is a better side, so I'm going to have this as the front, and this will be the back where my elastic will sit. So take your long tail that you've just cut off, and using one side of it, we're going to secure a double knot around the centre of the butterfly. And what I like to do is leave a good couple of inches tail, and we'll then get the elastic. So my elastic, all I need to do now is hold the elastic to the wrong side, and we're going to wrap the long part of the tail around and through the elastic so it goes around the centre of the butterfly, and keep doing this until you've run out of yarn. What I like to do as well is start, so I'm looking at the elastic. Now it's definitely in place. I'm going to turn it over, because this is the right side, just to make sure that this is nice and even. What I also like to do is make the edges slightly tighter than the middle, and it gives it a nice shape. Just make sure that you go through the elastic as well and leave the tail. You'll need that in a minute. Okay, I'm going to turn it over again for one last round. So when your two tails are similar similar lengths I should say, what we need to do is tie that in another knot. Now I like to tie the knot near the side because it's well hidden once it's finished. So I'm going to do 1, 2 and 3 for luck. There we are, that's nice and tight. And now we need to remove this unsightly tail. So with my trusty crochet hook, I'm going to go into the other side of the knot, through the wings, under the elastic part there, and through the other side. If you look on the right side, you can't see anything at all, which is correct. It's all on the wrong side. What I do is I generally pull both at the same time through, but you can do one at a time if you wish. Pull that through and give it a nice tug so it's definitely secure, and you can see the knot is more or less vanished. And then using the scissors, just pull the wings back a little bit, cut the two ends, and there you have a lovely butterfly hair elastic. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. I really hope you make some lovely butterflies, and thank you for watching.